Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. So we are going through Fritz's bad route, and like usual, we're just gonna skip through everything that we've already been through, and I'm just gonna show you the other choices to get to his bad route, and what comes afterwards that we haven't seen yet. And hopefully we'll be able to finish this all in one video. So let's get into it. So here is where these two guys are harassing Melody, and this time we gotta punish them. They are not good men. They must be punished. How dare they think they can get away with it? Fritz. Yes? Make sure they pay for what they did. I may not be good, but I would never harm another person. There are consequences to harming others. Fritz? Princess, I can't. They will survive. Alright. I wasn't expecting you to ask that those men be punished. They will heal. What if the woman in the shop didn't want revenge? I look at him quizzically. Why wouldn't she? What if she would have preferred that you show them mercy? They deserved what they got. Mercy? After what they did to an innocent woman? There's no reason they should be let off without any punishment. Okay, let's see. Should I have not said anything? So if you haven't already seen his good ending, I would recommend going to see that, so that way you know, what's going on. Alright, here we say change the topic. Never mind. It is not important. I am sure you have your reasons. You can share them when and if you want to. Did you know that when the best baker in Angiel was offered a job in the palace, she turned it down? I'm slightly startled when Fritz starts talking beside me. She did? Why? The royal gardener wouldn't let her gaze at cows or graze her cows on the palace grounds. What? The best baker in Angiel only bakes with the butter she makes from her own cow's milk. She wasn't allowed to bring her cows with her, so she refused the job. I don't believe you. It's true. I heard it from the head chef at the palace. Oops. The Delora doll was still in my room. But how? I'm too old for dolls. I've never seen this doll before. Princess, I know how much you treasure your dolls. I've heard you talk to them before. How? Sometimes you don't close your door. Well, that's embarrassing. You can only imagine how hurt I was when you said you've never seen me before. Alright, let's see. Stop. Princess, are you alright? It's been so long. You're not hurt, are you? He takes my arm gently. Come on, it's not safe for you to be outside. Let's head back inside. I dig my heels into the ground and shrug off his hand. I refuse to go back. Why? There was no point in my return. Things would have been easier if Delora had never found me in the first place. I am not going back there. Why not? There is no point. I've been perfectly safe in a different place. He starts to turn in my direction. Move back. My first response is to back up the way I'd come. Varge takes a single step forward. I freeze in place, holding Delora tightly. The speed he moves at is unbelievable. One moment he is at the front door, the next he is only a few meters away. What do we have here? But just as he starts to come closer, my luck changes. Suddenly, the clouds move. An almost unnaturally black shadow falls over me. Please, please! There is nothing here, nothing! Go away! He stands there unmoving for what feels like a lifetime. But eventually he turns away. I watch as he walks back to the Leverton home, slipping around the side and disappearing from sight. Varge! Why, if it isn't the Crown Princess herself. I thought I saw you back there. Thought it was a trick of the light at first. Why would a good little princess be out at this time of night? Good thing I trusted my instincts enough to come back. He wouldn't have seen me if I hadn't moved. There's nothing you could have... Do you want to talk about it? Do not say anything. I understand. I won't ask. I am too overwhelmed to speak, but I manage a small nod against a shoulder. You know, Princess, I'm glad I could come for you this time, even if I was never able to before. How did he know? Dolores said he couldn't be a witch that put up the wards. We're gonna back away. Almost unconsciously, I take a step back from Varge. My back hits the wall behind me. Are you afraid of me, Princess? I see you're a smart, sheltered princess, aren't you? You should be afraid of me. Varge moves forward, so close I can nearly feel his breath on my neck. What is he doing? He is far too close. I like that look on your face, Princess. It suits you perfectly. And here I thought you were just a scared little girl. Do you have a backbone after all? You're interesting, Princess, and a lot more fun than I thought you'd be. What he says makes sense. Believe him. Use me for their own gain? The margin is filled with nothing but base criminals, Princess. You see the way they treat you. They tear you down to make themselves feel superior. They do not care for you. They do not wish to help you. But I thought I could. If they truly did, why would they have cursed you? There is no good reason for them to keep you from your birthright. Such a thing can never be well-meaning. I do not know. I was right not to trust you. You're all the same. Let's see, how could a curse change Fritz into someone like Varge? We're gonna defend Fritz. Fritz is not a dog! Really now? How much do you know about your precious knight? I try to say something, but nothing comes out. It is true that I do not know much about him at all. You know nothing about him, so stop pretending you do. If it does, perhaps you are more similar to Fritz than you think. Well, this is a complication. We're gonna move. I move without realizing, putting myself in between Varge and the two siblings. Melody? No! And Melanie reaches out to pull me back, but I dodge her grip and turn back to Varge with a glare. Is this the mission? How very unladylike of you to eavesdrop. What are you going to do to them? It's none of your business, princess. And why do you even care? Why do I care? Because I know this is not some order Fritz would take. But you were very brave back but you were very brave back there. Thank you for what you did. I did not do anything. Yes, you did, and it was very good of you to do it when you have no reason to help us. Once again, I move instinctively to shield Rod and Melanie with my body. Varge looks at me, his eyes glittering with amusement. When did you become so brave, princess? I keep my eyes fixed on him as I speak to Rod and Melanie. Go! But go now! Please, let me help you. Let him. Fritz, I do not know how to explain. He slowly moves toward me again. Start from the beginning. Fritz carefully slides his hand over mine. I could trust him. You're right? Fritz, you're cursed. Princess, you've been worrying about me? There's no reason for you to be concerned about me. Neither of us have actually seen this curse in action. You are cursed with a separate, cruel personality. It's one that has been scaring me, and last night, you were going to kill Rod and Melanie. His gaze is a confused muddle of worry and doubt. You don't believe me. I do not doubt you, princess. I'm just confused. How could I not know about the existence of an alternate personality, or about a curse inflicted on me? You were supposed to believe me! How could you not? Why do you think I would lie about this? Last night I thought Varge was going to kill me, and I used that word you taught me because I felt I was in danger. What? I said it, and he stopped, and I thought that maybe it was you who heard me say that word. The words become tar in my throat, choking me. I trusted you. Fritz's eyes are dark as he drops his gaze to look solemnly at the floor. And now? Now I do not know if I am meant to. Will you help me? Tell me what I must do. Mother can be brought back? How is this possible? The Queen has been sleeping to heal the injuries inflicted upon her during the Great War. It is a fabricated death. Had I not been there, your mother may have truly been dead. But now the time has come for her to wake. But you are the only one that can open her eyes. How can I do this? I have spent all these years wishing for Mother to return. Mother was the only person I could trust, the only one that has ever truly loved me. And now I could bring her back. Can you promise me that Sir Alcaster's plans will not succeed? My princess, Sir Alcaster must be punished for what he forced Fritz to become, and for everything he has made you do. Swear to me that you will ensure the safety of the royal family. Very well, I swear. The air in the room becomes cold, so cold I actually feel my body becoming icy. I feel something like dread in the pit of my stomach, but ignore it. This is what Mother would want me to do. Mother, I have missed you so much. I willingly raise my hand to the tenebrarum. I have placed my hands over my mother's face, effectively framing it. Her expression is gentle, even in her unnatural sleep. She will be so proud of me. I've never noticed before, but Varge's emotions are very clear if you know what to look for. We're going to leave it. Of course you can't. You wouldn't tell me even if you could. About Fritz. Remove his curse. Oh, princess, do you really think it's just as simple as commanding me to do so? A caster cannot just take back their curse. Delora told me something like that before when I entered the margin. Stay silent. They must be punished. Mother sighs and puts down her spoon. Must I remind you of how people will seek to use you? How they will abuse your trust and your position in order to take from you? What other reason could those people have, or have had for cursing you? Regardless, we shall start your lessons tomorrow. You are not supposed to be here. What if someone discovers you? What if Mother finds you? No need to be so angry, Princess. I stare at Jurian in response. They do not understand what will happen if Mother sees them. You haven't changed a bit since you left. Jurian sighs and shakes her head. The disappointment in her voice is blatant. Jurian, I want to explain, but doing so would take so much time. They would not understand how dangerous Mother is in person unless they have seen her. There's no point saying anything. Be a good girl and go back to your own room. Reason with her. Mother, please! Is this how I am to be repaid? I take a step back as her voice echoes around the tunnels. Her voice is rising unnaturally, consuming the sound of the tunnels, much like her magic is. I have given my everything to you, all of my love. Has that meant nothing to you, dearest one? You would choose these people, these traitors, over your own mother. My heart aches. It would be so easy to just do as she says and obey, but everything has gone wrong since I brought Mother back. This is not what I wanted. This isn't right. Mother's love isn't what love should be. Let's see, what do I say? Okay, this is after Jurian. Yeah. Princess? Waltz falls silent as he studies my face. Then he sighs before taking my hand. We'll sort this out at the margin. Melody? I cannot bring myself to tell her what happened. I am so ashamed. Was Hildir responsible for this? Just hearing Mother's name makes me flinch. I thought so. I, Told Garland we should go back. This is all my fault. There must be something I can do. Nope, we're gonna follow Waltz. Bye! But I could barely protect myself. Perhaps I would just get in their way. I do not resist as Waltz pulls me out of the margin. Even as we set foot outside of the margin, I turn back. I cannot just leave them there. This is wrong. I can't just leave Delora and Karma there, not when I could do something. I dig my heels on the ground, bringing Waltz to an abrupt stop. We have to go back. Princess, we can't. Karma's hurt. We just need to get Varge's cane. Then we could stop him. We can't put you in harm's way again. You need to get away from here. I rip my hand away from his grasp as I reach out to the margin door. I can distract Varge and create an opening. No, I will distract Varge. Waltz does not give me any chance to protest as he throws open the margin door. But we have to do this quick. Not so fast. Over here, you dog. I forgot what voice I gave male Karma. The force sends me down to the ground, and the smoke in the air has me gasping for air. What just happened? Karma is once again collapsed on the floor. I see Waltz struggling towards him through the debris from the blast. Delora has dropped to one knee. Her face is pale and blood trickles from the side of her mouth. The only one still standing is Varge. How does Varge have such power? I really hate that damn stick. Varge looks at me and raises an eyebrow. So, are you going to be a good girl and come along quietly? Or am I going to have to convince you by killing them? He twirls his cane, a smirk on his face. If I use this again, I might end up destroying this building. No more death! I cannot let that happen! I'm not a patient man, Princess. So it has come to this. I don't have a choice. Delora is looking at me desperately as I rise, but I ignore her piercing gaze. Don't be stupid, Melody. You'll leave everyone here alone. Okay, where should I look? This is where we're trying to find Neverland. Dining hall. It would be easy to hide a box like Neverland among the things in the dining hall. There is no one in the dining hall when I enter. No one eats here anymore, not since Ophelia, Rod, and Melanie left. It looks empty without them. I drag my eyes away from the large dining table. Where do I even begin to look for Neverland? Maybe I should start with where the cutlery is kept. But after almost half an hour of searching, I still have not located the box. I have gone through every drawer and cupboard here, but I haven't found anything remotely close to looking like Neverland. I should look somewhere else. If Mother took Neverland, it would make sense that she'd want to keep it in sight. I slip into the throne room, thankful that it is empty. Where should I begin? Looking for this, dearest one. Mother? I look in the direction of the throne, and Mother is standing there, holding a familiar object in her hands. That's Neverland! You hurt me so much last night. I hope you're not planning on leaving me again. I need to get it from her, but how? I won't let you break that traitor's curse. There's no way I could take it from her. Now be a good girl and come back to me. Run. I quickly bolt in the opposite direction. I need to get away from her. I do not get far. I crash into an invisible wall just before I can get to the door. Do you really think you can easily get away from me, child? I quickly move my way over to Neverland and snatch it off the ground before any harm could come to it. Fritz pulls me back just as Dolores' spell begins to cackle behind me. Fritz tugs me around one of the columns and then presses my back into the coolness of the pillar. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Ooh, here we go. Here's the bad ending, guys. Though I tried my best to convince him that I need everyone outside distracting Mother, Waltz insists on coming with me instead. Waltz really should be helping everyone distract Mother. Though I admit I am glad that he's here with me. He's not in his room. Where are we looking for the king next? The throne room. He should be there. He was always in the throne room whenever Mother left the palace. Looks like he isn't here either. Is there anywhere else he could be? If I was Mother and I had to leave the palace to deal with enemies, and I had something I wanted kept safe, I would keep it in a secret chamber, somewhere no one would suspect, and that would be the tunnels. Let us go. We're almost there. Thankfully, the door to the Tenebrae chamber comes into view as we turn the last corner. I push the doors open and look inside. The king sits on a chair, his eyes devoid of any emotion. He's here! Is this what he's been like? Ever since Mother returned? His eyes are so empty. Do you know how to break the enchantment on him? Waltz leans forward to inspect the king's face. This is a high-level magic cast by Lady Hildyr herself. This is not something I could break, unfortunately. It's something that the king will have to break out of on his own. Well, would you look at what the cat dragged in? Varge. I look closely at Varge and notice that his unusual cockiness and mirth are gone, replaced with something that looks like melancholy. He looks like he is in pain. You shouldn't have come here. He stares at us blankly. Waltz moves to stand in front of me, barring me from Varge and the king. If I had my way, I wouldn't hurt her, but that's not how this works. What are you talking about? Varge turns his gaze on me and does not look away as he speaks. I am the big bad wolf. I was made to devour Little Red Riding Hood here, not fall for her. Varge loves me? Varge laughs, but it is a dry, humorless laugh. You look surprised. Is it really so hard to believe that I have the ability to love someone? Waltz's voice is quiet when he addresses me. He keeps his eyes trained on Varge. Get the king and get out. I'll be right behind you. No, I am not leaving you. No one is leaving anybody anywhere. Oh, whoops. That was Varge. Sorry. Varge sighs. I cannot fully see his eyes, yet I could still see the resignation in them. I have orders to keep you here. Strict orders. The queen wants to see her daughter after she's done with your friends. As for her wayward apprentice, well, I was told you could be dead or alive. If you think I'm letting Melody stay, your opinion doesn't really matter. I'm sorry about this, princess. I am suddenly shoved to one side. I land heavily on the floor, my head thudding hard against the wall behind me. Melody! Waltz turns towards me, but before he can move, he is blown back, past Varge and the king. He crashes to the wall on the opposite side of the chamber. Waltz! The element of surprise is so delightful. Mithros? What did you do? I glance once more at Waltz, but he is not moving. I struggle to my feet. You're not going anywhere. Before I could track his movements, Varge is already at my back. He pulls my arms behind me so fast I have no way of resisting him. I could do nothing but watch as Mithros advances on Waltz. Stop fighting, princess. I could feel his warm breath brush my ear as I fidget. I don't want to hurt you. You already have! I turned my attention away from Varge and glanced back at Mithros, who was still slowly walking towards Waltz, his expression tight with anger. You were always the favorite, always the precious little student. And then you betrayed her. For what? Our queen would have given you the world, yet you took her trust and threw it into the mud. But let me enlighten you. You're not needed anymore, Waltz. I cannot let this happen! Adiuva! Varge's grip on me tightens. I can hear the disappointment in his voice when he speaks. It won't work this time, Princess. My heart plunges to my stomach. After you and the fairy left, what do you think the queen did, What are you talking about? She wasn't pleased with your little knight's disobedience, and at that point, well, it didn't take much. What did she do to Fritz? A little push, just like that, and Fritz just disappeared. Gone. Gone? I repeat the word hollowly, so letting it sink into my mind and my heart. It's like he was never here. All you have now is me. My knees give out and I sink to the floor. I can no longer feel Varge's grip on me. I can no longer feel the dirt beneath my knees. I am losing everyone. I'm losing all of them, one by one. Why did I think I could help? Why did I think I could do this? This is all my fault. I crane my neck upwards to stare at Mithros and Waltz. The queen has me now, Waltz, and I've been training. I am better, I am stronger, and I will deliver your head to my queen. I am paralyzed in Varge's arms, unable to move or speak as Mithros moves close enough to deliver a magical blow to Waltz. The room is suddenly filled with dust that spirals out from the center. I blink back tears as it stings my eyes. When it clears, Waltz is once more standing. He and Mithros are glaring at each other. Waltz! But the sight of Waltz, alive and defiant, is enough to shock my brain back into action. I must save the king, and once Mother is defeated, Fritz might come back. With renewed energy, I begin to once again struggle against Varge. Hey! I wrench myself to the side and have enough leverage to bite down on his hand. He yelps and drops his cane. Impudent girl. I look up to see Mithros already turned towards me with an outstretched hand. Light dances around his arm and collects on his fingertips. You need to learn obedience. No, Mithros, don't. Melody! I cannot stand idly in place as I always do. I must move. But even as I lift my feet from the ground, I can see that the light is going to chase me, and it will come for me no matter how far I run. Melody! At the very last minute, a shape moves in front of me, acting as a shield. I see Varge's back moments before the spell pierces through his body and crumples him to the ground. Varge! His body collapses to the ground, his mask falling from his face. Why? Why did you save me? Dense to the end. Varge manages a weak laugh, then shakes his head. Even though I was the one who was there with you, it was still him that you wanted. I loved you just as much, yet you would never choose me, would you? No, you wouldn't, because this big bad wolf doesn't have a happily ever after to begin with. Fading away like this hurts less than having to come to terms with that. I can hear the click of Mithros' shoes on the tile. His voice is filled with amusement. Even Waltz seems too shocked to move. I knew there was a reason for your sudden disobedience. I suppose I should have expected this. Dogs always love their mistresses. Varge reaches up to touch my cheek. He smiles as shadows creep up his body. Moments later, it is Fritz lying on the ground, smiling his gentle smile. Then he closes his eyes and does not open them. Not moving, not breathing. Gone. Time stops as my mind whirls. I feel my heart slowly beginning to break into shards. This is all my fault. The end. Well, bad end. Dang. Oh, that was good. Like, I know that was the bad ending, which I'm so glad that I was able to finish in less than like 45 minutes. um, yeah, so that was Fritz's bad ending. I'm not even gonna really edit much of this. I'm sorry. You guys are just gonna have to deal with the skipping through because there was a lot of stuff that where it stopped like right in the middle. And yeah. Sorry about that, but if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe and that notification bell as well. So, yeah, because that would mean the whole world to me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.